In this video lesson, we're going to talk about how to manage virtual environment as a way to handle various Python packages for your project. When it comes to Python, it comes with a number of libraries that you can use out of the box. There are things like the NumPy, pandas, LangChain, and scikit-learn. Now, here's the thing. A very nice way to start your Python project is doing a global installation of these packages. But a huge problem is that if you're developing multiple projects simultaneously at once, the thing is that different projects may require different versions of packages. And that can be really cumbersome because let's just say that you might need NumPy 3.12, but then in another project it might be 3.19. That's going to run into some potential issues down the road. So you have to have a better way to manage that. So the way to manage that is something called a virtual environment. And there are a number of ways we can do this. There's something called conda, there's the regular virtual environment, and then there's something called UV. Now in this tutorial, we're going to utilize Vim as a way to manage our Python environment here. And in future lessons, I'll talk about how we can use something called UV, which is a very popular way developers are managing Python environments right now. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I have is a project directory already set up. I have a folder called virtual environment, and I have a very simple script called _stats.py. Now you can see that I have written the script without any packages installed. And I'm gonna go ahead and just run this to make sure that the computation does work by doing python stats.py. If you do this, then this is gonna utilize the Python version that's already installed on your computer. So when I run this is gonna take this following list of values 1, 2, 3 and toss it in this function mean, and then spit out the result, which is going to be 2.0 as you see in the terminal right here. Now later, if I were to, let's say that instead of having to write some of these popular functions from scratch, let's say that I want to just import an existing functions from libraries like NumPy, then what I can do is import NumPy as np. Now, the thing is that if I were to just run this python stat.py, then what's going to happen is that I'm going to get an error saying no module named NumPy. Well, a very naive way to handle this is just doing a global installation using pip install NumPy. But the problem is, again, this goes back to how you want to handle multiple projects with different dependencies. Doing it this way is a very naive way to handle different versions of packages that you need. So what we're going to do is, and we have to verify that we have the extension that is going to help us handle these packages. So if you just go to the extensions, I'm going to assume that based on previous lessons that I've put out, that you've already had a chance to install this Python extension. And part of what this comes with is an extension called Python environments. And when you do install this is going to install the Python environments. You will see it as part of the installed list. And this is going to help you manage the different environments of your project. And I'm going to go back to the file directory here. And now what I'm going to do is, in order to create an environment, what I'll do is on the terminal shell, I'm going to type out python m and vem.vem. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a new directory .venv along with places where your packages are going to be installed. So now what I need to do is I have to activate it. So I can't just do pip install numpy like this. I have to first of all activate it. So the way I activate it is source.venv bin activate. So essentially this is going to run this shell script that is placed under this bin. And once I activate this, you're going to see this change right here. What this reflects is that now I'm in this environment. So whatever installations that I'm doing, basically it's all within this virtual environment. It is not going to affect the global Python setup that I have. So now I can safely do pip install numpy. And this is going to go ahead and install the NumPy packages. Later down the road, you could also do pip uninstall NumPy or any other packages. You could upgrade it, you could downgrade it. There's various customizations that you can do. but we're not going to do that in this tutorial. Okay, so now that I have the NumPy installed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this script again, which already has a NumPy. And I'm going to go ahead and do Python stats.py. And this package has been installed, so I'm not running into any issue. The only thing though is that I want to be able to import this. So what I wanted to do is I'm just going to comment this part out. And instead of using the default mean calculation, I'm going to swap this out and just put np.mean, which already comes with the NumPy. And I'm going to go ahead and run this again. And voila, I get the answer, and it's utilizing the NumPy package. So the final thing I will say is that once you are done with this particular environment, there are ways to switch around. And if you want to deactivate this environment, perhaps utilize other environments, what you can do is just type out deactivate. And this is just going to help you exit out of this environment. And you can reactivate it again, source vnb.bin, activate, so on and so forth. So hopefully this clears how you want to manage packages. And the last thing I want to say is that you could also install multiple packages all at once. So you could do pip install numpy, pandas, and let's say langchain. We're going to run these later down the road, but I just want you to be aware that this is another way to install multiple packages, especially if you have a lot of packages that you have to install. It's going to help you save a lot of time. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video.